Hi there, this is Gia Freer with Palm Beach Premier Real Estate. Welcome back to our video blog. I have in my hands the local market report for Boca Raton and Palm Beach County for January 2019. So this month, Grant and I wanted to take a different approach in looking at what's going on in our marketplace. There are some concerns and potential recessionary macroeconomic signals emerging and flashing some warning lights. And as Ray Dalio, the founder of Bridgewater Associates, and he's said this in his book Principles, you need an accurate assessment of reality in order to produce a good outcome. So let's take a look at some of those economic data factors that are starting to concern us a little bit. So in no particular order, this is what we're looking at. Existing home sales. Sales on a nationwide level are off by 8.5% over the prior year and are headed much lower as the effects of prior mortgage rate increases sink in. Job losses in the next recession will likely compound the problem for housing. To be clear, the year-over-year numbers are far more important than the month-over-month numbers because the previous month will be revised again and it includes seasonality factors. Now, the January numbers were not so great, to say the least. Some might call them that we've had a bit of a plunge. At the same time, to correct a myth, it wasn't because of high interest rates or low inventory. We would propose that the consumer is just simply tapped out with debt. To give these numbers some additional context, sales of previously owned U.S. homes fell to the weakest since November 2015, indicating that the housing market remained in a slowdown despite the drop in mortgage rates. Now, to underscore our theory that many households have too much debt service to afford, the monthly cost of home ownership, listen, despite nearly zero down mortgage opportunities and historic low interest rates, consider the following data. A record 7 million Americans have now fallen 90 days or more behind in their auto loan payments. That's 1 million more than the previous peak in auto loan delinquencies in 2010. There's over $1 trillion of revolving consumer credit card debt. Student debt, those levels have tripled since 2006 and delinquencies have multiplied by a factor of 8. Retail sales in January, not looking so hot. Those were down 1.5%. Home equity has been tapped over the past 7 years, thereabouts, of real estate price appreciation, and real wages have not maintained the pace. Keep in mind that this has been the longest running economic expansion since the 1900s, so a slowdown's inevitable. Real estate is cyclical. The Federal Reserve, for example, is concerned with an economic slowdown here that they kind of did something unusual. They did what we call a pivot or an about face, if you will. They had originally or previously indicated 2 to 3 more interest rate hikes in 2019, and they're now slamming on the brakes saying, let's wait for a little more economic data for guidance before we make that decision. Meanwhile, geopolitical issues add further cause for concern. Gold, for example, a traditional flight to safety. It's seen a nice spike upward in price, $58. It's up $58 since January 1st. That's 4.5%. The price of gold has climbed more than 12% in the last 6 months through Wednesday, and it offers a potential hedge against global political uncertainties. Treasury yields would seem to indicate that there won't be any interest rate hikes for some time, and mortgage purchase applications are down 6% last week. That's 4 weeks in a row of declines despite the big drop in rates. Now, looking ahead for the rest of 2019 as it relates to housing, we can certainly extrapolate the following from this. First, the average household cost to service debt has reached a point at which it will become more difficult or challenging to find buyers who can qualify for conventional financing. That's Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and even FHA financing. Second, housing affordability issues will continue to be a theme moving forward. Third, the inventory will continue to increase and prices are going to soften, and properties will most likely sit on the market for a lot longer, for an extended period of time. And finally, the effects of a worldwide economic slowdown, it will be felt here in the United States throughout 2019 and 2020, and it will have a knock-on impact in housing. Going forward, we're definitely going to continue to keep a very close watch on the inventory levels, prices, and closed sales. Now, if you've been considering buying or selling a property, we would be happy to speak with you for a confidential consultation here at Palm Beach Premier Real Estate. Please reach out to us. Our email and phone number is below. It's info@pbprealestate.com, and our phone number is 561-395-8418. Again, this is Gia Freer with Palm Beach Premier Real Estate. Thank you again for watching.